Well, good morning, Cam.
Hello, Mitch. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Did I catch you off guard again?
Nope, it's fine.
Okay.
I am quick like a whatever fast animal is.
A ninja?
A mongoose.
Mongoose? Feels like, I don't know. I don't know if I like that, but we'll go with it. All right.
I mean,
anyway.
they kill snakes. So,
all right. Well, we're going to attempt to do a short show today because we got a hard out today. So, and I've got a few things that I want to talk about. So did we talk about my issue with my cable TV last time? I forget. I don't have it in the notes.
I don't believe so.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try and make this story real short because I found out how many dimensions cable can suck. So I had resubscribed to cable, a year or two ago, and thought, we'll give it a try again. There's a convenience to doing using cable, and I did it through a TiVo instead of through the box that the company gives you, which I decided I wanted to try it that way instead of going through like the cable box, and got it all hooked up, got the cable card, everything is working just fine. It worked just fine. It really came down to money because our promos started slowly getting taken off. There was a few different promos that we got. And this last month, I looked at our statement and what we were looking at as far as where our promos were at. I was like, oh, I have a promo coming off, and it's going to be over $200 a month for our internet and cable bill. And I'm like, that is excessive. So, and for the amount that my wife and I use it, it didn't feel to me like it was worth the money for us to do that. So, first off, if there's any listeners out there that know how to get just local channels streaming and not using antenna, but streaming online, I would love to hear it because I would like my local channels, but I would like to see if there's something out there that would provide local channels for cheap, say $25, $30 a month, somewhere in there. But I have yet to find anything. Everything that has local channels has cable channels that are bundled to it. And then they end up costing anywhere from $60 to $80 a month to do that. So I'm not beyond paying for what I want, but if there's a cheaper way, I'd like to look into it. But anyway, I'll throw that out there. Anyway, so now that I've given away where the story's going, I called them 3 weeks ago on a Tuesday morning and brokered myself a deal. The lady was really nice on the phone. She really helped me out. I was going to cancel cable. I was fine with doing that. And she brokered me a deal, $105 a month for this Choice 15 package. That'd be 15 channels of my choice, plus my local channels, which I thought was a screaming deal. I was excited about that. It also included my internet, which is like $80-some a month now. And so got excited about that, decided I wanted to try and do this. And so she set up everything, put notes in the system so that we knew everything that was going on. And 2 weeks later, almost 2 weeks later, I'm looking at my new statement and nothing had changed except for the fact that promo came off. And now my cable bill for internet and TV was like $226 or something like that, which is ridiculous. And I'm not paying that much money for that. So being disappointed, I called back this last Tuesday morning or a week ago today and talked to a lady, and she was less than helpful. After I tell her, here's the deal that we talked about like 2 weeks ago, she saw all the notes in the system, and she's like, well, I don't know how she managed to do this because your local channels cost this much, and that's not even accounting for the local channels to do that. Well, I says, my problem is not that it costs more money or that there's a problem with this. My problem with this is that you promised me something and you didn't deliver it. And she's like, well, let me see what I can do. So she starts working the deal like the last lady did. And I'm like, okay. So she's like, okay, I can get you $150 a month. I can get you down to that. It's a Choice 15 package with your local channels. It's the same stuff that was on the package last time you called. So what do you think? And I was like, well, it's not $105 a month, which is what you promised me. So let's go back to the drawing board and figure this out. And she's like, no, that's all I can offer you. She's like, I can't offer you any less than that. She's like, I can take the local channels off of it and I can get it down to X dollars, which I don't remember if it was like $120 or $115 or something like that, but it was getting closer. And I told her, I was like, well, that's not $105, which is what the lady told me 2 weeks ago. And she's like, well, it breaks down like this. And she broke it all down and it all made sense. And that's fine. But somehow this lady 2 weeks ago either promised me something that I wasn't going to get or found a different way to get there. I was like, so you keep working and see what you can do. And she's like, I can't do anything else. There's nothing else to work out. And I says, then I have the choice to pay more than I want to pay or may pay more than I have to pay or cancel. And I was like, and I think I'm just going to cancel. I says, there's no reason to belabor the point here. Okay, she says, all excited. Because I was a little bit more of a jerk this time around because for obvious reasons, I don't feel like I was being a jerk, but I was being firm with her, and she probably could have looked at it as me being a jerk, but I was sitting there allowing her to do what she could do. And then when she came back with her solution and the solution wasn't satisfactory, I told her, I says, I can get everything that I want for like $105 or $100, $110, something like that. Like, I don't need all of the stuff that you're offering me for $150. So the lady a couple of weeks ago worked out this deal so that you could keep me as a customer. And she's like, well, I understand that, but I can't give you what she gave you. And I don't think she gave you what you think she did. And I was like, well, look in the notes. It's all in the notes. And she looked in the notes and she's like, well, it does say that in here, but I can't offer you that. I was like, oh, okay, well, just cancel it then. And I'm not joking. When she said, okay, well, I'll go ahead and put through the cancellation, I had the TV on. I don't recall what was on. It was like the History Channel or something like that. I wasn't really watching it. I was talking to her. And she's like, okay, I put the cancel through. Mike's TV went black. Like it, just like that. And she probably did it because we were like 2 days into the month. So it wasn't like, I'm here saying I'm not going to pay for this, $226 package that you have me on right now. She almost canceled my internet too, which thankfully I spoke up and said, oh, by the way, you do realize this is just the TV. And she's like, oh, I'm glad you said that because I was going to cancel the whole account. And so I almost lost my internet last week too, which would not have been a fun conversation after that either. But, yeah. But anyway, that was my struggle. So now I have my internet that I'm paying for. I signed up for Bally Sports so we can watch the Brewer games. I am signed up for Netflix, the Disney Plus and Hulu bundle, Peacock, and Max. I signed up for all of those, or I had some of them that I was already doing, but I signed up for the rest of them. I'm still less than $150 a month that she offered me. And I have all those services bundled in with that now, or I have all those services signed up for. And I just laugh. I think I'm at like $130 right now. So, and I'm going to pare some of those down. We're just looking to see where we get the shows that we want and stuff like that. And then I'm going to start killing a couple of those. Or rotate them. I thought maybe about doing that as like do one for a month and then do another one for a month. And
yeah, I would do like Netflix for like 6 months, then Max for 6 months just to see what because I didn't want to pay for both of those at the same time. But right now I'm down to Peacock, Amazon Prime, and Disney Plus. Yeah, that's it as far as the streaming services that I use. Peacock is like They just bumped it up. It went from like $4.99 to $6.99. Like, ouch. Yeah. You know, and the only reason I have Amazon Video is because I have an Amazon Prime account, right? So,
right.
But they have a lot of shows that I like on Amazon. So, but yeah, I got rid of Netflix. I haven't had Hulu like ever. I got rid of my YouTube TV for the summer. Going to bring that back when football picks back up.
And that's what
get expensive.
That's what I thought about is upping my Disney and Hulu bundle to the Hulu with live TV like I used to do back in the day. And then
it's pricey though, isn't it?
It is, but it's not any more than a lot of the other ones are. You know, if you want the cloud DVR, you want I want History Channel, and there's a few of them that don't have the History Channel. So Fubo TV was another one I was looking at because that does have Bally Sports for the Brewer games. So that could be something that we paid for year round if we wanted to. But I don't need to. So I guess I'm just back to playing this, like which streaming services to sign up for a game and play the game of, okay, we'll cancel these services and add these services. And so we'll see. I'm honestly
not fun.
I'm not as excited about the Packers season this year. So who knows? Maybe we won't even sign up for anything. We'll see.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah.
I'll
change my mind.
Not going to watch Packer games. Yeah, right.
I'll change my mind. I do still have Sirius XM radio, so I could listen to the games, but we'll see.
Well, the Packers are playing the Eagles in Sao Paulo, Brazil this year.
Yeah. I did not know that, but that is interesting.
Wild. Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Well, because they've been doing games over in London, right? A couple times a year. This is the first time I think they've ever been to Brazil. I know they're playing a Mexico City game at some point, too, I think the NFL is. Or at least they had plans to, but anyways.
So
that's a whole other tangent.
You did, and slightly related, you did hear that WWE has signed a contract to go exclusively with Netflix next year.
For Raw.
For Raw, and all the stuff that's on Peacock right now is supposed to be moving over there too, from what I read.
Oh, so the PLEs will be on Netflix and not Peacock?
That's what I'm understanding at this point, yeah.
Oh, because I thought it was just Raw.
I think it was announced as Raw, but there was an article that I read that said that they're going to be moving the PLEs, and like it made it sound like it was all the on-demand stuff that they have on Peacock right now is going to be moving over to Netflix, and then SmackDown's going to move to USA, and NXT is supposed to move to CW. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's a few different things I've seen that are moving to CW, so I'm kind of wondering if somebody's not throwing some money at CW to bolster that as a brand and channel, because they're putting some money into that. So
yeah, it must be.
Anyway, that's my that's been what's been going on with me with internet. So this will be an experiment ongoing. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Fun stuff. I do have some quick follow-up. It should only take me a couple of minutes, and then we can get into the main topic. But last episode, I talked about Hey Email and a Hey Calendar, but also the fact that with the iOS 18 betas, reminders and calendar are completely integrated, and I really, really like that. I love Hey Email, but it's $100 a year, and I'm not going to pay $100 a year for email. And I asked myself last episode, could I recreate the feed, the inbox, and the paper trail setup of Hey in Mail? And it turns out with smart inboxes on the Mac Mail app, you can do that. So they have this it's called Smart Mailboxes feature on the left-hand column, and you can create smart mailboxes that will only include certain things based on the filters that you set. And so I can just say, hey, anything that's from @porterroad.com, send to my feed, because that's just them telling me they have new meat on sale or whatever, or recipes. And that's stuff I don't want in my main inbox. It's stuff that I'll go look through, or, you know, stuff from like LinkedIn, or, you know, any newsletter, or like, you know, company marketing emails that I get for, you know, companies that like I occasionally will buy things from, that can all go there. But like I had to set it up manually, which is great. The downside is these don't exist in iOS or iPad OS. So I sat there for a good 20 minutes working on it on my Mac, and then I realized this is a computer only feature. So it was both good and bad. Good that this exists on the Mac, lame that I can't do it on my iPad or iPhone, because it doesn't really seem that difficult. Everything else about mail syncs, except for those, as far as I know, I have not been able to find that feature anywhere on the iPad or the iPhone. But that is not enough for me to pay $100 a year for email. So we're just back to regular mail, which is fine. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I tried something new. I tried to recreate it, and I'm just going to stick with the normal email stuff because, again, the pricing. I don't want to spend $100, but good on the Basecamp folks for making the best email app I've used. Enjoy your future life. I will see you never again, unless it changes price. But I am also, on top of that, I'm still loving the calendar and reminders integration. Like I had my calendar pulled up here on the screen, and I was looking at the day view, and it's like, oh, hey, look, I'm doing this, and then boom, 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 here's my task, here's my task, here's my task, here's my task, here's what we're doing next. Like, it's just nice to have it all in one view. And I will say too, just so Mitch can see, the giant calendar widget. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The reminders show up in there too. So even just at a glance, I can go, okay, I'm in the middle of recording in a dialogue. Here's what's next on my calendar, tasks or event wise. And it's just, again, you've used Fantastical. I used Fantastical for years. This is not new or novel.
Right.
But it is nice to have. Yeah. I'm really, really enjoying it.
Anything that makes our lives easier. Sometimes they don't. It doesn't necessarily do that the day that the feature is available. But once we have an opportunity to integrate those into our lives, it makes a big deal.
Yeah. So I am, I don't know what, 2.5, 3 weeks into this, not using things and using reminders, and I cannot wait for the Apple Intelligence features that are coming to Mail and coming to Reminders. That I think, because right now the big advantage that things has is, well, one, it is prettier than Reminders, but two, it has really, 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 really solid deep shortcuts integration. Mm-hmm. You can do a bunch of awesome stuff, and I had these really cool things that I could do, and to the extent that I can, I've churned those shortcuts to use Reminders, but Reminders is still lacking a lot of that integration. And so I'm hoping that, one, that the Apple Intelligence email features will help me get maybe close to what I was doing with Hey. Probably not the same, but being able to categorize and summarize and that sort of stuff. And then two, that the Apple Intelligence features and reminders will allow for much better, intelligent shortcut integrations. And I can finally just commit to calendar and reminders and mail and just move on with my life. So there, I went 2 minutes longer than I wanted to, but I thought, since we talked about it last time, a little follow up of real life trying might be useful.
Right on. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into our main topic for today. We're going to talk about, it's kind of follow up, but we'll talk about some of the beta updates and what we've been working on and anything that we've tried. So, have you gotten into any of the new betas?
So I have 18.1 on my iPad, but I can't tell any difference from the public beta.
Okay, so have you tried any of the... Do you have the ability to do anything with Apple Intelligence on the iPad?
I had to sign up for the waiting list, I think, so maybe that's why. Oh, wait, whoa, it says turn on Apple Intelligence.
Yeah.
It never told me that I got it. Like it said, you're on the waiting list.
Yeah, I got like a notification.
I never got it.
Yeah.
I never got, well.
So unfortunately, I don't think I can get it on my iPad mini because my iPad mini is not an M1 or later. I will double check, but I'm pretty sure that I do not have access to Apple Intelligence. No, it didn't even give me the option to do the 18.1 developer beta on my iPad mini. So that's
all right, well, here I'm gonna push the button and see if I get the cool Siri on the outside. Turn off the bedroom lights. That's pretty dope. What is that?
Oops, hold on. That?
Oh, you have it on your phone too. Yep. Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm
Siri, tell Mitch a joke.
I might be a little crazy, but yeah, I've got 18.1, the developer beta on my phone. And so far, I haven't had a lot of opportunities to use the Apple Intelligence, but as you saw, the animation is pretty cool for that. Dang it, I did it again. You got to hold it down. And so it just takes over the whole screen, and you can... it's cool. I like it a lot better than the little orb that showed up at the bottom.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, like, the orb at the bottom never really annoyed me.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as I saw it go around the edge, I was like, oh, that's so much better. Because now nothing is blocked. But like it was never something that I consciously was annoyed by. I was just like, oh, yeah, okay, I got to do the Siri thing. And then when I'm done, I can use my phone again. Because that was just what the option was. But yeah, as soon as they showed it at WWDC, I was like, oh, okay, someone had a good idea here. This is much better.
And related to that, we have well, let me see if I can pull this up. So I recorded something in the voice recorder this morning. We were in Bible study, and it did come up with a transcript when I was at Bible study this morning. I recorded about 25 minutes of the class, and it does follow along nice and stuff like that.
Can you show me how you create that in Notes?
I haven't been able to figure it out in Notes.
You just did it in voice.
I did it in the voice recorder, but it doesn't flesh out the transcript super easily. So what you have to do is you have to. There's a little. I don't know if you can see this on the screen. See if I can get it over there. There's that little waveform on the one side there. When you tap on that, it pulls up the full screen editor or the full screen waveform, and then down in the corner it has a that little icon for transcription. So that's how you get to the transcription on the voice recorder.
Because I was looking for that in Notes, because again, that's one of the features that I'm really looking forward to, because I would love to be able to like record sermons and that sort of stuff.
Ooh. So
right in the Notes.
So in the voice recorder, I just discovered this. Do you see what's in there?
Playback speed, skip silence, enhanced
and
recording.
Yeah.
Sounds a lot like Overcast.
Sounds like there's some Overcast options in there. Now that makes me wonder if they're going to be adding that into the podcast app.
I mean, if they already have it in the recording app, it seems like
it should come.
Yeah, plug and play, right?
Mm-hmm. But anyway, so if I go, let me exit this because I tried this morning and it didn't seem to do what I wanted it to do. But let's share this in a note. So I'm going to go into Notes, and there is the audio file right at the top, or the note. So I'm going to go in there. It has a little block for the audio file. And I'm going to mute my mic here real quick because I'm going to play this, and I don't want to play this on the podcast. Okay, so as I was playing it, I was able to get the it actually opened a window that looks very similar to the voice recorder. And gave me the transcription. And if you notice, the only way you can tell you're in Notes is that the buttons are yellow instead of, or were they red, or what color they were in blue in the voice recorder app. So it basically opens up the voice recorder player inside of the Notes app. So that must be how you do it, because I didn't see anything in the Notes app that allows you to record the audio in Notes.
I don't think it's there yet. When they showed it though at WW, like the full blown Apple Intelligence features, it's cooked into Notes.
Okay. Now maybe that's just not available to do it that way.
Yeah, it's not. I was hoping it was, because that's one of the features that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. And I'm going to follow up on that Apple Podcasts question that we had. But in the meantime, I'm assuming that you have not upgraded anything to Sequoia yet.
No, I have one Mac, and she stays on the public, not betas, the Golden Masters or whatever the heck they're called. The standard version. Yeah, I'm currently running Sonoma 14.5.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to I don't know. Apple Podcasts looks so much better than it used to. It does not have the trim silence or anything like that in it yet, but it's such a really nice looking app now. It makes me want to, because it does have the transcription feature in it, but it does not have a button to do any kind of trim silence or anything like that on it. But if it had that, I'd be done with Overcast, because it would just, like, it's just so much cleaner and nicer looking. I just like it. Now, if Marco would clean up his app and make it look a little bit more system standard instead of the chunky design that he uses, I think I might be willing to stay with Overcast longer. But I don't know. They're starting to converge a little bit, and I'm liking it. So, but anyway, that's aside. So I just upgraded to Sonoma 15.1 on my my Apple Silicon MacBook. And because I use this for work, I don't really use it for much recording or anything like that. Which, FYI, the Rogue Amoeba apps, of course, threw up a thing right away that said we do not support this OS yet. So I don't know if Audio Hijack does that, but SoundSource certainly threw that warning up right away and said, "Oh, we don't support this." So I'm assuming it's the rest of their apps as well. So, but so far I haven't really dug into it a whole lot. It should, I don't know if I got I should look and see if Apple Intelligence has loaded in here yet. Oh, I do have it turned on, so I should be able to use Apple Intelligence on here. Oh, yeah, it's on here. So, but the one thing that I noticed right away, because I went in to change my my wallpaper, is that they have some interesting wallpaper options. They do have the Sequoia default wallpaper. I don't know if you can see this, but they have a set of wallpapers that are like little zoomed in, like this is showing the Mac Paint palette kind of zoomed into it. And these animate. So when they load up, they animate. So let me see if I can do this for you so you can see. No, I'll shut it and then open it back up and see what it does. See, that animates. Do you see it kind of scroll up a little bit? And some of the other ones will do other animations and such. So, but they always move a little bit before they settle. And I do wonder if it goes back to the lock screen. Like, so if what do? I sleep? Yeah, at the lock screen, it animates a little bit before it unlocks. So something similar to the aerial, like the screensavers, which makes me wonder if they have a screensaver attached to this. Oh boy, I'm going to end up diving down a rat hole here. But anyway, so there's some things that there's going to be follow-up required once I start using this more, because I've been using Grammarly for a lot of my work. At work when I send text messages and emails and stuff like that. And if Apple Intelligence is actually going to be into those text fields and helping me to type better and actually help me summarize or make suggestions on how I should write or change the tone of what I'm writing, I think that could be a pretty cool thing to play around with. So, yeah.
So I was just, while you were doing that, I was in Notes and I highlighted or selected a sentence, and then there's the writing tools option.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's proofread, rewrite, friendly, professional, concise. Like, so you can change the mood.
Yep.
You can get a summary. So that stuff's already there. I don't know how good it is because I haven't used it yet, but like that's there. But the ability to like highlight it in blue is not yet.
Mm-hmm.
And then real time follow up. I went to the iOS 18 preview page for the section of notes, and it says live audio transcription. Record audio sessions within your note and generate live audio transcriptions you can search through or combine with other comments, checklists, or documents. So it sounds like it's going to be actually within the Notes app itself that you can initiate those recordings and transcriptions.
Either we haven't figured out how to do it yet, or it's not available yet.
Yeah, my guess is it's not there yet.
Right. Because we're smart people and we should have figured this out by now.
This is true.
So, but, yeah, so if I don't really have anything like written out here, but if I went to a file in Sequoia here, I apologize for like bouncing around a lot for the listeners here, but, let's see. No, that's not something I want to mess around with. But anyway, I'm assuming it works the same on Sequoia, is that you select some text and then it will go through and summarize it, or here's a little bit of text here that I can play around with. So let's slide down here. Here, I'm just going to grab some sample text. And, oh, shoot. Since I'm inside of Notion, it's not letting me do it. So I would have to open up another writing project, which I'm not gonna take the time to search for right now. But yeah. So we'll follow up on this because I'm sure there's a whole lot more coming. We don't have any of the image generation features in here yet.
Yeah, none of that's here.
Yeah,
none of that.
So I'm not sure what else is missing, but those are some of the things that I've been looking forward to playing with. Because I did cancel my Midjourney subscription, so I might have to get creative about how I do the cover art for the show here until I figured what I would do is I would play with the image generation and Apple Intelligence once we get there to see if I can create some of those covers with that and see if I can have some fun with that.
Yeah, so that stuff's not there. The Genmoji isn't there. And then like the the features in email and reminders, like I spent, are not there yet. So we're just dipping our toes into it at this point. So
yeah, so we'll follow up on this as we get to learn more and more about the betas. So, do you have anything else that was on your mind, sir, to discuss on the show?
No, I thought today would be, like, as you thought as well, would be good to just follow up on what we talked about last week, because, you know, the betas have changed. We're in public beta 5, or developer beta 5 now at this point, and they're running that beta alongside 18.1, which is where the App Intelligence stuff sits. So, yeah, a lot's changed in the last couple weeks, so it was good call to see where we're at, see what we're liking, see what we're missing.
And we have a really weird thing going this year that they're running the 18 beta right next to the 18.1 beta. And so there's been a lot of talk on some of the podcasts that I've listened to. And I don't know if you've heard this as well, but wondering if they're kind of getting done with 18, that they're going to sit on a gold master here pretty soon and just develop 18.1. Not that they'll release it yet. They'll probably release it with the new iPhones in September. But,
yeah, we got at least a month.
Yeah, but they're getting close to being done with 18. That they'll start pushing heavy into 18.1 to get Apple Intelligence ready for, say, October.
I mean, I want that to be the case, because that means that they planned efficiently to get 18 ready, but they also still have a month until 18 is going to drop.
Yeah.
So if they are going to, like, you know, hit pause on 18 here in like a week or two and then go all in on it, 18 better be perfect, darn near perfect.
Well, I think
when it releases in September.
I think you keep a team on 18 for bug fixes. And then those bug fixes, they can roll into 18.1 as the beta, the public betas and stuff like that are banging on them. But I don't know I think 18 has been solid. You know, I haven't really had a whole lot of issues with it. There's not a whole lot changed in it, honestly. A lot of cosmetic stuff, but yeah, we'll see. Be interesting. Well,
yeah, I just wish I was on more third-party betas, because that's where, like, for people like you and me, this is really gonna change.
Agreed.
But we won't get to play with that until September, unless, you know, someone out there wants us to be on their beta. Let us know,
please.
We're nerds.
All right. Well, let's get the show wrapped up. But first, we got to talk about what's delighting us today. What's delighting you today?
I think you should go first.
You want me to go first?
You should go first.
Okay.
Yes. Let's mix it up.
Well, I didn't know what to talk about today. But then as I sat down I actually had a training class that I had to do for work this morning. And as I'm sitting here listening to my training class, and I have another computer up just above the computer that I'm doing the training class on, because I wanted to do that on my MacBook in case I had to get up and move around the house a little bit for some reason. As I'm looking at my iMac, I'm noticing, something has changed in iStat menu. And it wasn't pulling anything in. And I'm like, that's weird. Let me look and see what's going on. Well, they updated the app and it looks
they did.
really nice. And I went through and I changed a bunch of stuff in here, but they really, like, mostly it's just interface changes. Like, it looks a lot nicer with Sonoma and Sequoia. It has more of the rounded rec look to the pop-ups and everything. It took me a minute to kind of figure out how they re-architectured the settings. But once I figured that out, it's like, oh, well, this is still super easy, and it looks a lot less junky. Because I think before it I'm trying to remember what it looked like, but I want to say it just was a little bit harder to use and didn't look as nice. Where now it's really, really nice looking and much easier to read. Maybe not so much easier to read, but just looks a lot nicer. So I would almost say that it's a little bit more Apple Silicon, if that makes sense. In the sense that it's, it's got, settings for your, to see, like in your CPU, it'll show you what efficiency cores and performance cores are running. So you can do those in 2 different colors in the CPU graphs, which you don't have that quite so much in the Intel Macs. But I will have to update that on my Apple Silicon Mac and see how it works. So I haven't done that yet. But it looks a lot nicer, and I think that's the biggest thing, is it just looks a lot nicer. So.
Yeah, that was in the Mac Stories Club Mac Stories newsletter. There's always a section of like new apps debuts or updates, and that's how I knew that iStep Menus had gotten the visual refresh. It was one of those apps is like, hey, this app's been around forever. It's a great utility, but holy cow, they they really gave it a new paint job.
Yeah, and there's I think a couple other apps that do something similar to this, but this is the app. This is the app that you want. So I can very quickly tell that I have way too much stuff on my iMac right now, and probably need to run clean my Mac to get rid of some cruft. I got a 2 terabyte drive and I'm under 500 gigabytes left. So I'm gonna have to do some cleanup.
Smart. Cleanup Mac's awesome. I've had that for years.
Yeah.
Highly recommend. Saved my bacon a couple times too.
Well, and this morning I was jumping on the training session, and as I'm monkeying around with iStat Menu, the fans were going in my iMac, and I was like, I don't even have anything going right now. What's going? And so I clicked on the CPU thing, the CPU icon up above, and I'm like, oh, so those apps are running on my my Mac right now, my iMac. So, because I had Ecamm Live open, and Ecamm Live soaks up a lot of CPU. So, and it is a really nice looking, it gives you a nice little graph to look at. It shows you all the cores and what all the cores are doing on the system. And then you come down and it gives you, like your temperature for your GPU, all of that within the CPU menu. So it's really nice. Like it. Look at it. So, all right. Well, what's delighting you today, Cam?
I think just summer winding down. School starts here a week from tomorrow. And so this past weekend was the last weekend that I have my daughter before school starts. She's with her mom next weekend. And so we went down to our old town where we used to live and went to church there, went swimming, grilled out, saw a bunch of friends. And we're going to go to the park today and play soccer and, just getting in those last fun moments before life gets back on a schedule and a routine. Like we stayed up late for her. It was like 8:45 and watched a movie. Oh, that's what I'm going to talk about after this. But just knowing that school starts in a week and then holy cow, it does start in a week. And that life returns to a routine and a cadence. So just trying to enjoy the spontaneity that summer provides. So that's delighting me. But we did watch the movie If last night, the John Krasinski movie about imaginary friends with Ryan Reynolds and the big cartoony. You know at all what I'm talking about?
I think I've seen ads for it, but
it was so fun. And really just visually and the style and the lighting and the outfits, felt like it was like in a time of its own. The way that the Ryan Reynolds dressed and the girl dressed, the lead girl, who she's like 12 or 13, and she was incredible. Like incredibly believable, which for a 12 or 13-year-old actor or act, like that's commendable. But a super fun story, lots of dad daughter feels. So I was like, it's fun, I'm not crying, watch the movie, you know. But just a fun movie, really cute, really well done. John Krasinski wrote and directed it, and he's also done The Quiet Place. So like, it's, how does one dude who got started as Jim on The Office turn into Jack Ryan and be a total believably competent, if not super soldier, and then also write horror movies and write and direct a kids movie? Yeah. Just apparently a very talented dude.
Right.
And I've always been a fan of his, because I think his comedic timing is quite good, which shows up in this movie. And I won't say what that is, because I don't want to ruin the surprise or the timing of it. But there are a few moments where I literally was bent over laughing, because the comedic timing was perfect. And then there's an Easter egg at the end in the credits that had my neighbors been asleep downstairs, I would have woke them up. I laughed that out loud. And Kennedy was brushing her teeth at that point, and she came running. She goes, "What? Why are you like? What happened?" And I had to explain why I was laughing so hard, and she didn't get it at all, because she has no context for what the joke is. But it was just one of those where you're like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe they did that." And it was just so. Anyways, highly recommend watching that if you like cute, funny. Like, it's a kids movie in the sense that it's about a kid, but it's really about growing up and relationships and how you deal with crap that happens to people around you or to you, and the power of imagination and art and creativity and helping you cope with those things. Yeah. Rock solid. Highly recommend.
Right on. All right.
Cool.
Well, that wraps it up for us today, I think. So,
yes, sir.
All right. If you have, you, the listener, has anything that you would like to check out about us, of course, you can go to innerdialogue.show. And if you're looking for more information about me and what I do, most of our stuff is up there right now. But if you want to check that out, that is at mitchcraig.online. And Cam, where can people find you?
Cambrand.com.
That was a pregnant pause right there.
Yeah, I was going to say something stupid, and then I was like, no, just say the website. Just say the website, Cam. Yeah. Don't be that guy.
Make it easy. All right. Well, we'll see you guys back here next time. Cam, it's been a treat.
Indeed, it has.
And we'll see you back here next time.
Farewell.
Later.